Several federal law enforcement operations were conducted in the Denver metro today. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers say more than 100 members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua were at the center of the investigation. But we know at least one gang member from Chile was arrested. Meanwhile, the Drug Enforcement Administration says it was also conducting raids in the Denver area.
Now, most of the raids were conducted in Aurora, including at two of those troubled apartment complexes, the center of controversy for months now. Those are the Edge of Lowry and Whispering Pines. Other investigations happened at Fitz on 14th Apartments and the Cedar Run Apartments in Denver. Denver 7's been at each of these locations today talking to federal officials and to residents to get a picture of just what's happening.
Christian Lopez is live tonight at Edge of Lowry, and investigative reporter Natalie Chuck joins us now, though, from Cedar Run. We start with her and the investigation there. Natalie.
Hey there, Shannon and Jessica. Well, the scene out here is completely different than when we got here this morning. Earlier in the early hours of this morning, this entire block right in front of me was completely blocked off. Protesters lined the streets, yelling at people being detained, trying to tell them their rights, while we watched federal agents knock on the doors right here behind me before spreading throughout the rest of the apartment. Now, while all of that is gone, what does remain here is the feeling of uneasiness that some people are having who live here tonight. Before the sun was up, police lights were already lighting up this Denver intersection. The Department of Homeland Security carrying out a massive operation at the Cedar Run apartment complex. Denver 7 was there at 6:20 on Wednesday morning with FBI, ICE, ATF, and DEA agents, starting to escort suspected undocumented immigrants out of the complex and onto a bus, leaving about 3 hours later.
I got a bang on my door, and it was ICE. There was about 6 of them. They were all heavily armed and demanding ID from me and asking me to snitch on my neighbors.
Hannah Stickline has lived here for about 14 years. Other neighbors waking up to the same thing.
Is there anyone in the house?
No. The immigrants aren't the issue, really. It is the conditions, and it is an absent landlord, which is why we are now in this situation.
Denver 7 Investigates has been looking into Cedar Run for several weeks after tenants brought forward concerns over living conditions. Stickline is a member of the Denver Metro Tenants Union.
And this is all caused by a negligent absentee landlord who is using these poor people as a scapegoat.
In a statement from a spokesperson for Gelt Venture Partners, which owns Cedar Run, the company claims it was approached by the city of Denver 18 months ago to help with the immigration crisis in the city. It says the apartment was assigned a number of people to the complex, but goes on to say, quote, "Our attempt to help the city has resulted in numerous challenges, including suspected gang activity, unpaid rent, and widespread significant damage throughout our complex. We filed a records request for all correspondence between City Councilwoman Amanda Sawyer and a Gelt employee. We got this, an email on November 1st from Denver Fire Chief Desmond Fulton to Sawyer. In it, addressing concerns for the Denver Fire Station responding to Cedar Run and surrounding areas. He acknowledges Denver police provided Denver Fire with a list of addresses with members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, known as TDA. It also says fire crews have not had any, quote, negative interactions with the gang." Councilwoman Sawyer did not want to offer any comment on that letter. Denver, however, did send us a statement disputing much of the claims that the property owners made in that statement. It read in part, "We do not believe city dollars were utilized as housing support at this property." Now, a source with the city of Denver also told us that Denver police executed a warrant here as well today, this morning. However, they did not know about the federal operations happening beforehand. For Denver 7 Investigates, I'm Natalie Chuck.